fast. What did he do? Okay, he breathed on him, but even before that, he did what? He showed him his hands and his... Now, did he do this just with the first group? No. He even did it with Thomas, who was doubting. I think there's something important that we can learn here. Okay? Today we're going to talk about authentic relationships. Authentic relationships. Did you notice Jesus did not just come in, say peace, did not just come in, try to have a relationship, but hide his scars? Isn't it interesting that I'm just going to talk with you. I know sometimes when I'm trying to have a relationship with people, there are areas of my life that I'm not proud of from my past that I tend to try to hide, especially in certain groups. I always try to make sure that I put out my best foot forward. And I don't ever want people to see these areas of my past that I'm not proud of. Jesus, whenever he's ministering to them, showed them his scars. Do you think these scars are still bloody and all torn? I mean, like blood oozing out and are still painful? No, I think that's important too. As believers, as we are becoming real in our relationships, it doesn't mean that we go out and we show everybody our wounds that we're still trying to deal with. Because there should be something different about us. Just because we're in pain, we shouldn't be vomiting on everybody or putting on them. But these are areas that have already been healed. These were things that God actually showed his power through. Think of your life. What areas, when you look back, did God bring you through? What areas caused you pain in your past? What areas in your past were you ashamed of that God has brought you out of that you could one day when you're talking to the relationships around them, instead of being afraid of, go, you know what, God did this. Yeah, do I have a hole in my hand right now? Yes, but look, God healed this and he's all powerful. And if he brought me out of this, he can bring you as well. Amen. Don't hide your scars. If you're still hurting, if you're still wounding, let God bring healing to that so he can use it to show his power through.
Amen.
Open up your heart to those around you. I think it's interesting. He said peace. Peace. I'm coming to bring peace. People that are hurting, do they bring peace? No. That's right. We have a saying. Hurting people hurt people. Yes. If there's areas in your life that are hurting, go to Jesus.
Yes.
Let him bring health and healing to you. So that way, you can show your scars. And Jesus receives the glory. One of the people that's really good at this, in my opinion, she's an amazing communicator. She connects extremely well, especially with people that she works with. I'm jealous of her because she's such a great communicator and talker, is my wife, Heather. And she's actually worked with me on it. And I'm becoming a little better. Now, you could ask her. I'm definitely not perfect. I say things that still maybe will give me the couch every now and then. That's why I'm not true. But she's really good at communicating. And I asked her. Yeah. Really? We talked about a sermon just a few weeks ago. And I asked her to come up here. We're just going to ask her a few questions. I'm going to ask her a few questions. And I'm going to have her just share with you about authentic relationships. Learning how not to hide, but show your scars. Do I? I don't know. I may even ask you extra questions just because you know I'm like that.
We rehearsed this. We did not rehearse it. Aren't they sweet?
So, I asked you to come just because we're learning how to become real people, real believers. Now, once again, I want to reiterate, it doesn't mean that you're being real is blowing up on people. That's not being real. That's being childish.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm talking about being real and learning how to show how God has moved in your life. Okay? So, when was a time being authentic and showing your scars was hard for you?
Well, I immediately, when we first started talking about this, I went back to right after Caleb was born, so about 18 years ago. I had severe postpartum depression, but we didn't talk about stuff like that. My family, we didn't share when we were hurting growing up, so you just dealt with it. You would go behind the closed door at your house and you'd cry in your pillow, and then you'd come out and everything was supposed to be okay. But then 18 years ago when we had Caleb, our marriage was struggling because I didn't know who I was, and I thought he was going to fix everything. And he was busy trying to provide for a family, and then that left me with nobody to talk to in a new city. Now we have a year married, and we were married a year, and now we have a baby. And there was major depression there. We went to church every Sunday, but I didn't allow anybody to get close because I felt like I had to shoulder everything, and I didn't really know what authenticity or transparency was because I was hurting so bad. My marriage was failing. I had a baby, and I didn't know what to do with him, and I thought I was supposed to know how to do everything. I grew up in church, and I thought I'm supposed to know how to do this Christian walk, and I couldn't juggle it all. So that was really hard because my eyes I didn't know where to look. Like, I was going through the motions, like you talked about the routines, and I'd pray, and I would go to church, and I was broken inside, and my eyes were on my brokenness and not on my Redeemer.
So what kept you from reaching out? I know I already broke off.
You did.
I'm already in trouble. But so
No.
what kept you, do you think, from actually asking for help? Since at that time it was the Friday. You were bleeding and you were hurting and you were. What kept you from getting help? Do you think?
I was afraid because I looked around at everybody around me, and they were handling this thing called life so much better than I could. And I didn't see behind their closed doors. I had this perception, this was even way before Facebook, that everybody's life was perfect. And I had I believed this lie that there was something inherently wrong with me, that I couldn't be like all these other people. So I fell into the comparison trap. I think that's why I was just afraid. I was afraid to let people see me because I knew that I wasn't good enough, and I didn't want them to know that I wasn't good enough. So it was totally fear of people and what they thought of me.
Okay. Well, can you tell of a time when a deep relationship was made because you were willing to take your eyes off of yourself like that and not to operate in fear, but actually to show where God had brought healing in your past and showed your scars to others?
Well, we went to, if you've been around us long enough to know, you've heard both David and I talk about the encounter weekend that we both went to at different times. I don't even remember how long ago it was, but that was the beginning, 10 years ago, probably. And encounter, and I sat there with my arms crossed, and I know this, I got this. But what happened was the relationship with the people. There were ladies in my life that just loved on me. And one of the ladies, her name is Darlene, and she would ask really hard questions, and I didn't want to answer. And she, through asking questions at Encounter and me really just sharing and letting that guard down, the Holy Spirit began to work inside of me. So that relationship that I have with Darlene it's a deep relationship because I showed my ugly. I showed that vulnerability. And the Lord used Darlene to bring healing into my life. There was another lady named Denise, and Denise lived her life in front of me, her good days, her bad days. And it was probably one of the first times that I realized, like, oh, you can be mad at your husband and it's okay, but then there's always healing and restoration.
You can't stay there, though, can you?
You can't stay there.
You've got to go.
And I would watch.
Let's just put it in the real quick.
You can't stay there. Yeah, we can't stay there. But I would watch these couples, Mel and Darlene, and Denise and Phil, and Dwayne and Julia. We live life next to them, and there's so many people that I don't even want to begin to name all of them, but we live life next to them, and because they were able to be authentic and transparent, I was hurting, but I learned through safe relationships that it was okay to share. It was.
I can remember many times we'd go over and talk with them and say, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. And then they'd listen, they would, I don't know about Julia, but I'm thinking Dwayne. Yeah, that's okay, grow up. That's great, Yeah, I understand that hurts, but get over it. I mean, that's all blind, that's one reason I think, I got along so well, because yeah, you're right. I want to commiserate, but okay, you got it. But yeah.
That deep relationship came with living life next to those people. And they opened their homes to us and lived life next to us and loved us through our healing process. And then, you want to say something?
Well, no, I was thinking that they were more concerned, or they realized that we were people, that we weren't the problem.
Yeah.
That's true.
That we may have had problems, but we weren't the problem. We were people that had problems.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
It's a big
And they loved us
difference.
through it.
Yes.
And helped us through it. They talked to us.
And shared
Challenge
God's
us.
word and challenged us. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
And we lived life with them.
Yeah.
And then, so through that healing process, people helped with that. But then the awesome thing was, like even last year, me being able to have a deeper relationship with someone else because of what God had brought me through.
Yeah.
And even at that point, with my coworker last year, there were so many times that I'd be at work trying to get things ready for the next day, and she'd come in and we'd start talking about the Lord and what the Lord was doing, and I'm thinking, I have to grade 5 sets of paper and I'm going to get this ready. And the whole time, the Lord was saying, just relax.
Amen.
Talk to her. Share with her. Open up. And so I would open up with things that I was dealing with loneliness, as just moving from Waxahachie to Round Rock, and she would open up with things that she was dealing with, and together we began building that relationship based on what the Lord wanted to do. And so now her life is totally turned around.
Yes.
She is married and attending church and serving the Lord, and it's like that's a deep relationship that because of transparency and vulnerability, her life has changed for the people that she's going to encounter.
Yes.
So it's so exciting. The women that spoke life into me helped me to get to a place where I could speak life into somebody else, and then my friend is going to speak life into the people around her.
Amen. Speak life.
So, my last question for you. What advice would you give to others in their journey of being able to show vulnerability and showing their scars?
Do not neglect spending time alone with the Lord. That has been probably my number one challenge, but then it's also been the number one thing that has made me where I am today. Because we get busy, and it's hard because I hear in my head, oh, you can't go upstairs right now because then your family, they'll, what's wrong with Mom? Why is she pulling away? But I have to go upstairs and sit in my recliner up there and read the Word. I have to pull away and stop the busyness and spend time with God, because it's like watering a plant. Like, I'm not the best green thumb gal, and some of my plants don't look so good because I neglect to water them sometimes, but I began looking like that in the Spirit if I don't pull away and spend time with Him.
Right.
So don't neglect time in the Word and prayer. And we had a pastor, our dear Pastor Fred would say, if you don't bathe, you begin stinking.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't bathe in the Word on a daily basis, you
Everybody knows.
And so my kids and my husband can tell you that I begin to stink if I don't spend time in the Word. So don't neglect time with God. And then don't neglect time with people. And I feel kind of hypocritical saying that because we are in the busy trap sometimes, and our list of things to do sometimes seem never ending. But as I was praying about that, what to do, what advice to give is be sensitive to the Holy Spirit, because I never would have had the conversations that I had with my coworker last year had I not turned that busy voice off and just listened with the Holy Spirit tuned in ears. And I believe I wouldn't be where I was today had I not stopped to listen to her. And I would believe that God would bring other people into her life, but I wouldn't have had the pleasure and the joy of seeing her come alive in Christ had I not stopped and really tended to that relationship.
That's all the questions I have. Maybe we should close again.
Praise God. Thank you, Jesus.
So guys, in our quest of having relationships that are strong, in our quest of having relationships that are deep, we have to get over the fear of ourselves, of being rejected, of, oh well, you're a failure because this is the way you were. We have to show our scars. Like she said, and I didn't even think about this, we have to get over being so busy that we can't hear God or hear others whenever they're trying to reach out to us. Many times when Jesus was, just thinking off the top of my head, I remember like many times Jesus did miracles, it was saying he was on his way to somewhere. What if the destination was more important than stopping to help that person who asked for help? Just thinking out loud. We need to make sure that we do slow down and spend time with our Father so we can hear him when he says, hey, that person there needs a touch.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Amen?
Amen.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you that you are not afraid to show your scars to us in Jesus. We thank you for that. Thank you for being that open and vulnerable. I pray, Father, that each one of us would be able to do the same. Help us to be people who bring peace. Help us to be people who are open enough to say, this is what God brought me through, and he can do the same in your lives. Help us, Lord, not to be so busy that we neglect spending time with you and neglect spending time with others, because, God, you are a God of relationship, and relationships matter. We pray that you would have your way in our lives. Help us to be your light and salt this week at our jobs, at our homes, at the store, no matter where we go. Help us to bring your love, the love that you shower on us to others. In Jesus' name. Everyone says? Amen. Well, next week